the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
You got your
And how else in modern day society would the elements melt with fervent heat? Alright? A volcano is not hot enough to do that. Okay? The stove, the electric stove inside your house exploding, alright, it's not hot enough. Alright? It's gotta be those ICBM missiles, man. Alright? In modern day society, that arrow, alright, we're gonna get a few of those scriptures as well. Because when the scriptures talk about arrows and glistening swords and things of that nature, it's speaking about the ICBM missiles. Okay? It's not gonna right out say it. Alright, the Lord is gonna destroy this place with missiles. That's what Jake be wanting. Yeah. If you can't show him that, he ain't really trying to hear shit.
Right, and if I could add too, hey, when it comes to the truth of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you can't tie this in with the world. You know, and a lot of Jake, they wanna, you know, still hold on to certain things that comes with the world, but still, you know, want to be a prophet or want to be, you know, a servant of the Lord, and it don't work like that, man. That's why the scripture say you gotta put that old man to death, man. You know, you can't. The scripture say, can any man serve two masters, man?
Okay.
You know, you can't. All right. So the things that, if it's something that's on your spirit, and it's something that's in the world that's holding you back to achieving that, man, you gotta cut that off. You know, it's a fight. You know, but it's not like it can't be done, man. Hey, the scripture say all things can be done through Mashiach, who strengthens me, man.
That's right.
You know, so you gotta learn how to cut yourself off and make sacrifices in order to be a servant of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man.
That's right.
You know.
Yep. Where we at? Because yeah, bro, that's perfect. Because Jake got sense to know that oil and water don't mix, but they don't got sense enough to know that you can't serve the Lord and mammon at the same time. It don't mix. Alright, Jake can grasp that concept, you know, in the world with water and oil, but you can't grasp that concept when it comes to the Lord and the world. That it just don't mix. No matter how you try to slice it or put it. But just like with oil and water, no matter whether you put the oil in the bottle first or the water, alright, they don't mix. One will float to the top and the other one float towards the bottom. You know? That was it on 2 Peter?
Yeah. That's one more verse. Verse 13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth.
Yeah. Hey, Peter is saying, although these things are going to happen and the earth is going to melt with fervent heat, we looking towards the kingdom of heaven. All right? That's the new heavens and the new earth. All right? Which will be established right here on earth. The kingdom of heaven will be right here on earth. So the Lord is going to do a refreshing on this place with the missiles, man, to clean up the filth that America has put down here and all across the world. All right, he's gonna burn it up, and he's gonna start a new establishment, man, which will be the house of David right here on earth, man. All right, go ahead.
Wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Yeah, wherein dwell in righteousness. All right, in the kingdom of heaven. Alright, once this place is dissolved and burnt up in the kingdom of heaven, only thing that's going to dwell in the kingdom of heaven is righteousness, man. Alright? And you can best believe that. That's one of the Lord's promises as well. Alright, that he's not slack concerning. You know? Got a precept. Go back into that. Go back to
this second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 1, it says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the word of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh.
Yep.
And cause them be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
Yeah, so the prophets that were getting these visions of missiles, alright, and things of that nature, hey, the Lord caused it to be written down in paper. And that's where we got the gospel from, the good news, the scriptures. Alright, that's how that came down. Alright, the vision came down from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to these prophets, and they wrote it down. Okay, go ahead.
It says, Fear not their imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
Yeah, just let them keep moving. All right, because this place still gonna be destroyed, whether they believe it or not. Go ahead.
It says, behold, said Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction.
Yeah, so let's digest that real quick. The Lord is gonna bring. Now it started out with saying these are prophecies, right? Prophecy to prophesy, or prophecy just means to say before. All right. So these things have happened on the earth, but they're not. They haven't happened to a level and where it's going to get. You know, once the Lord let the angels go, you know, that's holding back that wind from the four corners of the earth. All right. Once the Lord does that, this famine and pestilence and all that, it's going to get worse. Yeah. Okay. Because it tells us in Matthew 24 that these are just the beginning of sorrows. All right. So these are just the opening credits, man. The Lord ain't really did nothing on this place. So these famines, if you can think about the worst famine in world history, all right, when the Lord do what he gonna do this time, it's gonna make that shit look like a walk in the park. Yeah. You know? Go ahead.
It says, for the wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth.
Because wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth. Not just a little bit of wickedness, so the Lord is upset. No, this place has ran amok, okay, with just filthiness and lasciviousness and crudeness and malice. Man, the way the so-called white man did our people, bro, that shit is malicious. Yeah. All right. Like, slavery in itself is really not the big issue here. Right. All right, because slaves has always been there. We're gonna have slaves in the kingdom of heaven. But the way that the so-called white man did our people that's on this signs, man, it's a fucking a travesty, man. Yeah. All right, and people are scared to speak out about it because it's been a few hundred years. No, fuck that. You know, we coming out telling this devil to his face that the Lord is gonna destroy his bitch ass. Right. All right. And all you niggas that don't want to get down, the Lord's gonna destroy you too. Right. Go ahead, bro. This white man is the devil, bro. If you can't see it, then I don't know what you got on goddamn blinders. Right. Alright? Everybody, that's the common, that's the icebreaker. Right. You know the white man, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
It says, and their hurtful works are fulfilled.
Go ahead.
Therefore saith Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more touching their wickedness.
Yeah, so once this devil has gotten to a point where the Lord, all right, man, this is fucking enough. Right. All right, the Lord is going to come back and make it rain on this bitch. What's that, Job 20 and 22. Yeah. Papa Rashad, go ahead, Hop.
Continuing on, it says, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Mm-hmm. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me.
Yeah, and that ain't just talking about the so-called white man. It's talking about you niggas on this sign too that ain't right.
Yeah.
You ain't fair. The Lord ain't just gonna exclude you, because you've been being the devil too. Yeah. All right? You've been doing everything the so-called white man put in front of you, and you've been taking it. Just running with it. You know how Jake do. You give Jake an inch, he'll take a mile. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you Jakes have done with the wickedness that Esau. See, it started with Esau Edom. You know, that evil man, that evil seed back in the womb, all right, of Rebecca. Mm-hmm. All right. So that evil seed started back then. All right, and it hasn't gone anywhere. The opposite to that evil seed was Jacob, man. We're from Jacob. We're out of the line of Jacob. These 12 names you see on these signs, man, those came from his loins, you know? So we were never the wicked seed. It was Esau Edom, all right? But fast forward to the day, and then all this is social engineering too, and we know it's systemic, that they put you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans at the forefront of violence, like you niggas are barbarians. Right. All right, but the so-called white man, he's the ultimate goddamn savage. Yeah. He just do his in a way that he can get away with it legally.
Right.
He pushed that pen when he wanted to do some wicked shit.
You know, and because the term barbarians came from Jake, who basically was, taking down the Roman Empire.
Yeah, giving them problems.
Yeah, and then giving them problems. So they gave them the term barbaric because they went against their system. All right, so that's the same term they're gonna try to put on us by barbarian, insubordinate, lawbreakers, because we don't agree with their system. All right, but really, in actuality, the so-called white man and his counterpartners are the ones who's really barbaric because they're against the law, statutes, commandments of the Heavenly Father, man.
Right.
All right, you're against the ultimate system. Like the officer speaking about, saying it's okay to eat pork. Saying it's okay to commit adultery. Saying it's okay, to whatever it is, man. That you're really the barbarians, man.
Yeah. Yeah, because Esau Edom, if he wanted, during the inauguration, they had the president put his hand over the Bible, and shit like that.
Right.
If you truly was about the Bible, Esau, you would make everything in your laws match what the scriptures got. All right, there would be a law against sleeping with another man's wife.
Right.
You can do that shit. Esau won't bat an eye.
Yeah.
It should be a law. If he catch your ass eating certain things, you should be, given a 30-day sentence or something. You know what I'm saying? If he truly believed in the Bible and that America was built off biblical principles, that's supposed to match each other.
Right.
They supposed to coincide with each other. All right, and that's how we gonna live in the kingdom of heaven. All right? Our laws are gonna be based off of what it says in the scriptures. All right, and if it don't, and if it's not in there, then it's not law. But Esau Edom, he got two different ways he tried to operate. He tried to operate sneakily, saying that he's about the Bible, all right, and then go create laws that allows you to break the laws of the Bible. This nigga Obama was the one who made it legal for two men to go get married,
Right.
two women to go get married, all right. But he was inaugurated in with his hand over the Bible. That's blasphemous.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say real quick, because when Trump got elected, he was talking about how he was gonna make America back a Christian state again.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. So it's funny how what you're saying and what he's doing. He totally opposite. He's done nothing according to the scriptures or even Christian life.
Right. Even Christian life. They probably looking at his ass like he's fucking retarded. Because Jake, and I'm speaking about our people. Jake look at Donald Trump and the stimulus checks that he gave out a few years ago.
Yeah.
And they hold that nigga to a higher esteem, bro.
Yeah.
And that's our people. All right, but the Lord has to come back and destroy this place, man.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you can hold that, Joe. Let's keep going and see.
Continuing on, it says, "Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the holy and innocent blood is crying out to Yahweh Shem outside, man. All right, in the chief places of concourse, we're crying out to our people, telling them that this current setup is not the end all be all.
That's right.
All right, we crying out, we telling our people that missiles are coming, but they walking past us. All right, like basically what it said a few verses up.
Yeah.
The imagination of them that don't believe, like they incredulity gonna make weight on the prophecies of Yahweh. Hell no.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Continuing on, it says, "And the souls of the just complain continually."
We're continuously complaining about this place, all right? And we're going to complain until the Lord comes back, all right? This is a patience man game. We got to complain for the next, Lord forbids, if we got to complain for the next 10, 20 years, hey, we're going to do that, man, all right? Because this place ain't right, all right? And if you get to a point where you can stop crying and not really upset about things that are going on here, then you part of the problem at that point.
Right.
Go ahead, bro.
Continuing on, and it says, "And therefore, saith Yahweh, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them.
Yep.
Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter.
And that's all Esau's been doing, bro. All right, putting your ass in that tunnel, leading your ass straight down to destruction.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt,
Go ahead.
but I will bring them in with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues, as before, and will destroy all the land thereof.
And that's how you know he's speaking about a modern day Egypt.
Yeah.
All right? Because when has the plagues came back on Egypt a second time, like it did back when Moses, it was Moses. It's like, when Moses was trying to get his Israelites out of captivity, all right? And the Lord sent those plagues through Egypt, all right? That's how you know Egypt is spiritually here, bro. This is a place of bondage. That's all Egypt means.
Even look at Egypt today.
Yeah.
Look at it. Nobody really live over there like that. Some of them, them Arabs and them, man. But nobody really live over there like that, man, in Egypt.
Right. For the Lord to be sending plagues.
Yeah.
That's light work. He wouldn't have to send plagues like that.
Right.
He's gonna send plagues on this bitch.
Yeah. And
Right.
why would the #1 selling book ever?
Yeah.
People hold to the high standard, even if they don't believe or not, holding themselves according to. So why would the Lord, talk about Egypt? Like it's some high, the most important city, that's current.
Egypt ain't shit.
It's nothing really, relevant towards Egypt besides, during the time of Moses.
And the pyramids.
Yeah, the pyramids. But that's speaking of America, man. Because our people, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, were basically, put in a place to where you would be held, in captivity against your will.
That's right.
To where now it's more of a mind state thing. Because if Jay really knew that they was in slavery, they would want to get out. But they don't even know that they're in slavery still.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. You got it.
All right. Continuing on, it says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plagues and the punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it.
Yeah, them prophecies, man. Them promises that he said was going to happen. All right? Jake talking about he going to come out next week.
Yeah.
Nigga, you may not see next week.
All right.
Go ahead.
Verse 13, it says, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting in hell, and with a fearful consolation. Woe to the world, and them that dwell therein.
Woe, death, and destruction. That's what woe means. Death and destruction to the world. Go ahead.
For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
Yeah, this is a future prophecy, man. All right, it's gonna be hell. It's gonna be chaos in America, man. Sedition amongst men. All right, neighbors darkening each other's doors. All right, double crossing them. Trying to rob you for what you got. Race wars. Motherfuckers gonna be starving. Civil war, you name it, man. It's just like you heard that saying that all the gloves are off, or all bets are off.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all fucking bets off, man.
Yeah.
All right, when this time that Edris is speaking about takes place here in America. All right, so all that shit you niggas think is gonna continue on forever. Y'all gonna continue to beef over certain blocks and shit like that. That shit is coming to an end.
Yeah,
That shit is over.
None of that shit gonna matter, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Some of them people ain't gonna want to hear it, man. They huh?
Right.
Get what? Nah, you can't come in here. Nah, I'm gonna need everything you got, though. That's how people gonna run it, man. It's gonna be every man for himself, man. Free fall.
And the same people you calling family and friends,
Yeah.
you better fucking lock the door. All right, because they looking to snake you.
Yeah.
Because they probably hungry. They back touching the goddamn, they stomach touching their back.
Yeah.
They hungry. They don't give a damn that y'all went to 8th grade together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be every man for himself, bro. All bets gonna be off.
Especially them Edomites.
Oh my God.
Jake love having neighbor Edomites, man. And they go, hey, I'm gonna go to my neighbor with XYZ.
Okay.
Nah, okay.
I was watching this documentary about Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
During Hurricane Katrina, those neighboring cities, neighboring neighborhoods where the white folks live, they took up arms. They didn't even want niggas to come out of the flood into their city that didn't flood. They were shooting niggas. It was a nigga on the documentary. He said he was goddamn, he had got off the roof of his house, right? Him and his mother, and I think his cousin, they left their mom and they were going to look for food or going to see if, you know, they can find like a rescue helicopter or anything. So he said they swam, you know, they swam a few miles. All right, when they finally reached dry land, all right, they made it to these Edomite neighborhoods. He said the next thing he know, he was on the ground and he heard a loud boom. So he said when he came back to his senses, he got up and there was an Edomite there with a shotgun shooting all niggas that came through. They shot like 5 niggas, bro. They ended up prosecuting the Edomite and everything. But I'm saying that to say that when it's time and all hell break loose and it's time to goddamn fend for yourself, these white people that you think love you and they really care about you and they want reparations for you. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be the first one to put a hot one in your ass.
Right.
You know? Let alone your own people. Go ahead, bro.
2nd Esdras chapter 9, verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people of the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
I ain't saying you will well know, so it ain't gonna be no doubt about it. I ain't gonna be no mystery. You know, we gonna well understand. All right.
When you go into that word uproar, it says etymology of it. It says outbreak of great disorder, revolt, or violent commotion. You know, so because one thing that you have to understand when all hell breaks loose, it's not going to be laws in place. You know, it's not going to be, oh, you can do this or you can't do that. No, man, it's like the Purge, like the movie Purge. You know, these people had a set amount of, during the movie, people had a set amount of time to where they could commit any amount of crime and not be punished for it. You know, but imagine that, but just a continuous cycle, man. You know?
Right, because the people that are in place to enforce the law, they not gonna be in a position trying to enforce that shit. They gonna be trying to goddamn look out for themselves and their families. Alright? So the laws are only good or in place when you can enforce them. Alright? Because only reason Jake don't run red lights and stop signs is because the fear of the police being right there and seeing them. That's the only thing that stops them. Now in that day, it's gonna be a cop car, but that bitch gonna be empty. You can guarantee it. You know.
It's gonna be a nigga, somebody else driving.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nigga from Campbellton Road in that bitch.
In Washington D.C., you know, when Trump, you know, brought the troops out, and he said, get rid of the crime and get rid of the homeless. I don't care how you do it.
Shit.
You know. So that goes to show you the thought process of these devils, man, of these Edomites, man. You know. He said he basically commissioned an order, you know, and stepped away and said, do it however you want to do it. You know, so they could have murdered him, you know, they could have, you know, whatever Esau wanted to do, and it's gonna happen. You know, that's just a brief, you know, like a preview. Yeah, a preview of what you know this devil is about to commit, especially in these major cities.
That's right.
These people think that they just continue to walk up and down the block, you know, freely without no type of fucking punishment, man.
That's right.
You know, but wait till the Lord allow that Revelation 12 and 12 to pop off, man. You know, you think niggas up here on the internet beefing about who snitched and who didn't?
Right.
Niggas
you know, These fucking, you got people that's military trained.
Yes.
That's prepared for shit like that, man.
Specifically.
Because they know. You know, the internet is a worldwide of information, man. And you got certain people who's been in that lifestyle who look into certain things and can see, hey, this is gonna happen in America. You know, whether they know the scriptures or not. And they prepare, they got guns, they got food stored up. You know, they got the like bunkers. You know, and they can't wait till that shit pop out. Look at the movie Bushwick. You had people that was prepared for that time.
Right.
You know, but you also had people that was unprepared. You know?
Same thing, bro. I'll tell you, bro. Y'all brothers gotta watch that Katrina documentary. Cause that was the same thing. They was warning niggas, get out the city, get out the city, get out the city. Motherfuckers that weren't prepared end up staying, or they didn't have the means of staying, and they ass got flooded out, alright, and died. Yeah. But and we're gonna get back to the scriptures. Yeah, it was a white lady. I forgot her name, but she was some pristine Edomite within the army, right? She said, we're sending troops to New Orleans, and they trained to shoot and kill on sight. 100% what the brother said is true. And that was just because motherfuckers was breaking in stores because they ain't had no food in days. Because if you look at the documentary, when the storm hit, it was peace in New Orleans for the first 2 or 3 days. But when they seen the government wasn't coming with no kind of aid or assistance, them niggas started breaking in, stealing their own food. You know, getting their own goods. And then the white lady told me they gonna come in and shoot and kill the folks. Well, what the aid at?
Right.
You know? Well, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, Edomites licking their chops right now, man. That's what they want. They can't wait. They can't wait, especially down here in Georgia, man. The Edomites can't wait, man. Especially you hear how they talk. They proud, man. You know?
Wait to get a nigga.
Go ahead. Back in 2 Esdras 15, in verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
You better refresh your memory on how it was when COVID hit.
Yup.
Motherfuckers couldn't travel without the little ID saying that you had been jabbed up. Alright? But it's gonna be even worse than that. Alright? They don't give a fuck what kind of credentials you got in that day. You ain't gonna be able to cross certain borders, man.
Right.
You know?
And even with the whole Trump, you know, order that he put out with getting rid of the crime and the homeless, what makes you think that he can't just say anybody? You know, and no citizens allowed in this area. Put up blockades and block off the roads, man. You know, if anybody try to cross or enter into this section of the city, hey, kill on sight.
You heard the gun line boss?
Right, you heard the gun line boss?
Yeah, you ever heard the gun line boss?
You know?
Need no fences.
Yeah, and it's gonna be military troops, you know, patrolling the streets. You know? What you gonna do then? We ain't gonna be out here. Prophets ain't gonna be out on the highways and byways. The scripture said they're gonna be removed.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what's about to happen in America, man. And it's happened before in other times in history, man. All right, and what? History repeats itself. Okay? No new thing that's under the sun, man. All right? So we are blessed, you know, for him to reveal these into us, like the officer going into 2 Esdras 15th chapter, you know, and show us, you know, the future prophecies of what's to happen. And we, you know, through the mercy of the Lord, you know, was able to open our mind and realize how can we prevent ourselves from being in a dying situation and during that time. And this is the reading the scriptures and understanding the breakdowns is the only way.
Yeah. Want to continue on?
Yep.
Back in 2 Esdras chapter 15 and verse 18, it says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor.
Ooh, a man said, we were speaking about that earlier.
Yeah.
All right, and this man should have no pity on his neighbor, no matter what goddamn race, color, creed, or ethnicity, background you come from.
Yeah.
All right, motherfuckers gonna be out for themselves and themselves only, and their immediate family. You know, go ahead.
It says, but shall destroy their houses, but the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread, and for a great tribulation.
Yeah, because the lack of bread and great tribulation, trouble is gonna be on the horizon, man. All right. You really want to see how the human brain works? Start depriving it for certain things, like nutrients and water and food, and see what happens. You remember we used to watch them cartoons, and I always like to bring this point up where they'll be like in the desert and they be thirsty, and they start imagining shit. You know what I'm saying? The mind to hallucinate, the mind to do that for real. All right. Now your uncle looking like a goddamn Subway sandwich. Cause you hungry. All right. That's how it's gonna look, man.
I got something for you.
Go ahead.
Because that's called survival mode.
Yeah.
So a simple GPT search. What is survival mode? Survival mode is a mental and psychological state your body and mind enter when they perceive a threat, danger, or extreme stress. It's designed to keep you alive by prioritizing immediate survival over long-term needs. It says key features of survival mode. First one, fight, flight, or freeze response. Your body releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, heart rate increases, senses sharpen, and you become hyper alert. And so imagine, that survival mode on the elect. Because the Lord is going to increase that. The Lord is going to increase the survival mode of the elect in that day. By what? By way of spiritual powers.
And I was going to say too, and Edris was speaking about how it's going to be lawlessness in the streets. Imagine every single fucking person in survival mode.
Man.
So everybody's senses are heightened. Everybody trying to get it. That's how it's going to be. Not just a few people. In certain movies, you got the fucking like the main character. He the only one in survival mode. He's just taking niggas out. Everybody gonna be in fucking John Wick mode.
Right.
That's gonna be crazy, bro. Not just a few motherfuckers, over there. Or a few motherfuckers. No, your neighbors. They're gonna be in survival mode too. And you ain't think they gonna do whatever it takes for them to survive over your ass because y'all supposedly neighbors or friends or something. You think they gonna prioritize your needs over theirs? No. When survival mode kicks in, everybody starts to put their needs above the others. Alright?
Especially if you're a liability.
Oh,
you're a liability, you know what I'm saying?
It's all cutting off the fat.
It'd be different if you can bring something to the table, like y'all help each other out. But if you ain't bringing nothing, like you don't know how to hunt, you don't know how to do anything. Better off dead.
Even within that, when we see it all the time in these movies, because Esau, he knows, man, and he try to hide it through movies, but really that should be reality. Whenever it's a group of people in an apocalyptic, type of setting, what end up happening? They turn on each other. And it's all, and they have you guessing throughout the movie who it is. Just to, heighten the climax of it. The plot. But it's reality, man. All right. But that's why the Lord has told us to be separate. Why is that? Because when we're in those, if we're put in those settings and that type of reality, and the scriptures is what's going to be able for us to withstand that, man. Me and this brother, just so happen to be together, during Jacob's trouble. The Lord is going to have us moving in the spirit together, man, not against each other. But what brings people together? They don't have no type of, what's the word I'm looking? They don't have no type of relationship to where they, you just got titles. This is my friend.
Right.
This is my, no, we're servants.
Yeah.
You know, we're servants of the highest power, man. You know?
Yeah.
The Lord has a spirit that he's put within us, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to allow us to do, you know, and to be able to move in certain situations, man.
Yep.
Isaiah 33:6. All right? But this verse, going back to that survival mode point, this is it says key features of survival mode. This is the second point. It says short-term focus. Your brain shifts from logical, long-term thinking to immediate problem solving. That's spiritual power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It says, and whenever like military and these army brigades, they practice these things, man. You know, they go out into the wilderness, you know, in the rainforest, you know, little to none resources, you know, and they practice these things because they put some, you know, in a survival mode, and they all, like I said before, they still understand that this can happen in real world time, man.
Yeah.
You know, it says non-essential processes like digestion or deep emotional processing slows down. So emotions is really none and void.
Right.
So and that's why you have, you know, certain family members turn on each other. That's why the scripture says, house divided, that too. But I was speaking of the cannibalism.
Oh yeah.
You know, little people trying to eat their kids, man.
Yeah.
You know. You want? You got?
No, you got some more on that?
It's more, but you want me to keep going?
Yeah, if it's still some more good points, because that's gonna lead to resources.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It's verse 3, point 3. So like, it says energy conservation. Energy conservation. It says you may feel bursts of energy or extreme fatigue as your body tries to ration resources. Emotional impact can cause heightened anxiety, irritability, or emotional numbness. Behavioral changes, you may become more reactive, risk adverse, or withdraw from normal routine.
Yeah, so everybody is gonna be in a case of survival mode, bro. So imagine all hell breaking loose in your neighborhood and everybody's trying to survive. All right, what's going to separate you from just the average Joe? The spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
That's right.
That's the only thing that's going to separate us from these other people. All right, of course we're going to be in survival mode as well, but we're going to have a power to lean upon. All right, that's going to be the difference between us and you people, Lord willing. All right, we're gonna have the spirit on us of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, while you motherfuckers just getting your wig split left and right. Okay.
Yep.
So knowing that these things are gonna take place, going back to Peter, all right, what manner of man ought you to be? All right, I personally think you should be on the side of trying to survive, you know, with Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, than putting your trust in Esau Edom. I can 100% guarantee you that. All right, because Esau Edom don't even give a damn about his own.
Right.
All right, he already in survival mode. He don't even have to be.
Yeah.
You know, this devil is already consuming and making short-term decisions, thinking irrationally. He's already doing those things. All right, because he knows that he have but a short time.
Yep.
So he's in survival mode because he knows that the Lord is coming back, bro. All right, so that's why he's trying to set all these things in place. All right, all these decrees, create a space force, position himself across the world.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing all these moves because he knows if he have but a short time, he's in survival mode.
Yeah.
All right, but that's not gonna be enough because we already know how this story gonna end. You better read Obadiah.
Right.
You know, where we at? Still in second Esdras. Let's go ahead.
Fine. Jumping back in second Esdras, 15 in verse 20. Behold, said the Most High, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun from the south from the east, and Libanus to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done to them.
You can drop that. That was the point. You still got that.
Job 20.
Yeah. And what else?
I had a precept, but I got it.
No, you can hold on to Job. That's gonna segue in the second edge of 16. You get your precept. You said you had something too.
Isaiah 13. You still want that?
You can drop that.
This is John 6:63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
You got it.
Yeah, so the spirit is what's going to trump, survival mode of the elect versus the survival mode of the non-elect.
Right.
Is what the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Yeah, because like the officer said, yeah, it's gonna be like shit like that. And it's gonna be certain Edomites, certain Jakes, that's gonna be in a survival mode. But they're gonna be moving off of what? Off of their flesh. They're gonna be moving carnally, off of their own might. But the elect is gonna be moving what? In the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. Certain brothers gonna have spiritual powers. Like I said, the scripture say what? One man should put 1,000 to flight. So on and so forth, man. So the spirit is what quickeneth, man. All right, and that's why in the closer we get to the end, the more spiritual brothers have been become, because that's what's gonna lead to salvation, man. It's the spirit, having the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua.
You can drop that on 2nd Ezra 15 and just flip over to chapter 16 real quick. And you can start at the top.
This 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 1, it says, Woe be unto them. Slakia. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with sackcloth, with cloth of sack and hair. Bewail your children. Be sorry, for your destruction is at hand.
Read on.
A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is that may drive them away?
Yeah, so these are all questions that are being presented, all right? And the answer is nobody, because once the Lord opens up, all right, and he send them 4 angels, all right, that's holding back those winds, when all hell breaks loose, ain't nobody gonna be able to stop that.
Right.
Ain't no missile defense system, ain't enough amount of praying gonna save you Edomites, or you Jakes that is slated for death. 2/3 of you, ain't gonna be nothing in the world that you can do, all right, to stop these plagues and the sword that the Lord is about to send on this place. Leviathan. Ain't gonna be nothing you guys can do. All you self-willed individuals that think that you can do something with this devil without Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Right. It ain't no way, all right? Or you people that just outright don't believe, all right? Ain't nothing you're gonna be able to do in that time to stop what the Lord has. Your incredulity is not gonna stop the prophecies from happening, all right? Read on.
Continuing on, it says, may any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood?
No, once a lion is hungry and he have you set in his sights, all right, ain't too much you can really do, man, to stop that hungry lion. All right, go ahead.
It says, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it has begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The mighty Yahweh sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away?
Nobody, all right? And once those arrows come out of them silos, man, over here, that glistening sword and spear hit America, bro, that's going to be it, all right? Jake ain't going to be able to stop it, all right? Esau not gonna be able to stop it. Moab, and none of you tribes, man. All right, because the Lord already has a set time, all right, for this devil to rule, and once he makes his plans and it's all starting down, snowballing downhill, it ain't no going back, man. All right, and that's why we was, or I guess the brothers was trying to tell Jake, hey, next week may not be here. All right. So go ahead and get this while getting this good, man, because we don't know when the Lord's gonna come back. All right, but we just know that we got to be prepared. Okay. And this devil and his new world order is not gonna succeed. That's why we said this devil been in survival mode for a while now, because he knows that he have but a short time. So he's doing all type of manner of wickedness, trying to get prepared for this fight that he's gonna have against Yahweh and his angels, all right, Yahweh Shai and his men, but he's not going to be able to fulfill it, and we know that according to Job 20. If you can grab that real quick, bro.
John. This is the book of Job, chapter 20, and verse 22. It says, "In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits.
Yep.
Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly."
Yep. So when this devil is right at the point to where he's about to fulfill everything that he thinks he's going to do, man, he can't. That's a noise violation or something. Right by the police. Right. He ain't got no doors on it. Snatch the nigga right out.
Is that nigga seatbelt on, man? Lock him up.
But yeah, man. Then when this devil get to a point to where he thinks he's about to fill his belly, all right, that new world order, think he's gonna CHIP everybody, including the elect, all right. He think he's just about to be as God, as it tells us in Thessalonians, all right. The Lord is gonna do what? Read it.
It says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
Yeah, the Lord is going to rain it it's going to rain on his parade with ICBM missiles, man.
Yeah.
Right when this devil think he's about to do what he think, whatever he may think he's going to do, all right? Whatever plans he got, all right? The Lord is going to bring a the Lord is going to bring a stop to it, man. All right? And he's going to raise his elect up next to him, because we're next in line to rule, man. And this devil is going to be taken out of the way, man, by way of this fire.
Yep.
Put some more on that.
Yep. Verse 24, he shall flee from the iron weapon, the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn and cometh out of the body, yet the glittering sword cometh out of his gall.
Yep.
Terrors are upon him.
Yeah, we told you earlier, when you hear words like glittering sword and spears and things of that nature, that's talking about ICBM missiles, man, in the scriptures. All right. JB wanted written out in plain sight.
Right.
He wanted to say it.
Yeah, he wanted to say it. Now we know, and we believe wholeheartedly through faith, all right, that the promises that the Lord said is going to happen, man.
Yeah.
All right. There's some more in that 2nd Esdras 16.
Yeah, it's a little bit more. This is back in 2nd Esdras 16 and verse 9. A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightning, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid?
Skip down to verse 16.
Jumping down to verse 16, it says, likened as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backwards, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again.
Yeah, so once the Lord opens up on this place, ain't gonna be no turning back. All right, and it compares it to just like an arrow is shot from a mighty archer. All right, that arrow, after the mighty archer shoots it, is not gonna go and then turn back around and come back like a bow and arrow. No, it's gonna go in the direction in which he fired it. All right, and we know, all right, according to Joel, all right, that these missiles that will be shot over here is not gonna break rank. All right, they're not gonna thrust one another. All right, they're not going to turn back any of that, man.
Yeah.
They're going to have precise targets, and they're going to hit precisely where the Lord wants them to hit.
Yeah.
All right. So just like when it's shot and they won't come back, it's going to be the same way with the plagues here on America, man.
Yeah.
All right. You think those plagues that he sent in the time of Egypt was something? Wait till you see what the Lord has in store this go round, man. All right. Go ahead, Doc.
Kind. Continuing on, verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?
Go ahead.
The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, and the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of war, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evil. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
Go ahead.
Behold, famine and plagues, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment.
Yep. Hey, that's going to make it right. You know?
Yeah.
The Lord has to do this. Why? Because we read in the previous chapter that wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, man.
Yeah.
The Lord is fed up, all right? Especially with you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because he expects more from you. He sets you to a higher standard than he do the devil.
Yeah.
He know Esau Edom is just playing out his role. He was set to be the wicked, all right? He was made for the day of evil, you know? But our people, that's not us, man. All right?
Yeah.
We're righteous, we're holy, man. Once those two spirits were battling in Rebecca's womb, one was evil, man. That's Esau Edom. All right, we was on the righteous spectrum of it, you know? Go ahead, Doc.
Oh, continuing on, it says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness.
Even though all of these things are going to take place, all right, 2/3 of our people will not return from their wickedness. And what's going to happen to them? The ultimate. They're going to face the same destruction as these other nations, man, and this devil. Go ahead.
It says, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case.
And Jake loved that, bro.
Yep.
Jake loved when shit go on sale. All right, Jake loved getting a stimulus check. They wait on that 1,700 right now that Trump talking about he gonna give out for the last 3 months.
Right.
You know, Jake be waiting on that type of stuff, man. All right. But even though those things be so good cheap, all right, they think themselves to be in good case because it seems like the economy is still booming.
Right.
You know, they're able to get loans at a low interest rate.
Yeah.
You know, right now cars are about to go on sale because it's the end of the year sale.
Yeah.
All right, Jake be thinking, oh shit.
How the market crash.
Yeah.
Lower.
Yeah.
Or reverse. You know, but if I can add too, that really goes to show you the end of a society. You know, because we learned that in school, nothing is free.
Right.
You know, so the economy or America is in a state that it's in now because of the stimulus package that Trump sent in his first term. You know, that it still hurt from that.
Right.
You know, because what? Because of that, inflation. It caused inflation. Now you got cars, you know, at an all-time high. The housing market is at an all-time high. You know, groceries are at an all-time high. You know, people can barely pay rent or bills. You know, and this all comes from Esau supposedly giving out money free. You know, you had the PPP loans. You know, all of that money has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, so what? Esau raised the price of everything else in order to so-called give you money. Now you don't have the money that Esau gave you. Now what?
Yeah.
All right, that goes to show you how Esau, he basically cripples you.
Yeah.
You know, to where you got to crawl to him. You know, but the elect is not going to crawl to Esau, man. Well, you know, when you read Isaiah the 30th chapter, we're not going to go under that covering of Esau, man. The Lord is our protector. The Lord is our savior.
Yep.
You know? But that goes to show you that Esau is at the end of his rulership, man. All right, where the beast is going to hate the whore, like it says in the book of Revelation. And also, it said in the precept that the brother brought out, about how the wicked is going to be the ones that shoot the arrows upon Esau, man. All right. So this is the future of America, man. You know, and we're living in it.
Finish verse 21 and 22.
Fine. It says, behold, the victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evil grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine.
Yep.
And the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy them.
Yep. And that verse, I love to bring that out because that shows you that there'll be no escaping the destruction or the judgment of the Lord, because it says those that survive the famine, the missile will destroy. All right, and that reminds me of that one verse in Amos where it says, "Who did flee from a bear, and went in the house and rested his hand." You got that real quick? Yeah, because even though you may survive the famine, all right, but if you 2/3 of our people that are on this sign, remember that's who the message is for, our people. If you're 2/3, all right, if you're counted in that 2/3, you may survive the famine, all right, but it says the sword shall destroy you. All right, so you're gonna meet your maker, bro, regardless. All right, ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know, go ahead.
Amos 5:18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord Yahweh.
Yep.
To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord Yahweh is darkness and not light.
Yep.
As if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him.
Yeah, that leaning your hand upon the wall, that's a state of relief. Like, whoa, I just escaped the goddamn bear and the lion. Sheesh. That's relating back to victuals being so good and cheap, because it puts you at a relaxed state. All right, you've relaxed, so you've let your hair down, so to speak. So that's what that verse is saying. Once you done escape all these dangers which you thought were going to put you to your demise, all right, you finally get in the house and rest your hand, you know, and take a deep breath and a sigh of relief. A fucking serpent bites you. All right. That's how the judgment of the Lord is gonna be, man. It ain't gonna be no escaping it. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna step down.
Brother, get 2 Amos chapter 6, verse 6. Because the brother was talking about the end time. It's like First Corinthians 14, verse 1. The Lord is bringing this hell on earth to an end. Somebody could get Proverbs 29. Talks about when the righteous. Start up with
John, it's Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Yep. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. In the time of King Solomon, even all the nations outside of Israel, they rejoiced to a certain degree. It wasn't a war to that extent, because the decree and the man of King Solomon was ruled in wisdom. First of the scriptures of the doctrine of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. The Lord, the Most High, said He would be greater than all the kingdoms of the planet Earth. Then you have the wicked ruling outside of the nation of Edom. All of these other nations, they rule over Israel in an unrighteous manner. More so Esau, the so-called white man. And every time he came in the booty seat, he always multiplied evils on the planet Earth. Going back to his first civilization, the Greek civilization. Esau multiplied evils in the planet Earth, especially amongst the people of Israel. The Lord prophesied that all of these nations was going to come up, and then they're going to be brought down by another nation, and that nation that brought them down is going to be wrecked up. Daniel chapter 7 goes to that. So all the way up until this time, the Lord prophesied the future of the rulers in these times. The Edomites that's ruling in particular. Because they have the world in the palms of their hands. They set up these corporations, which are these societies. It's no longer a country in the system of the world right now. It wasn't like in the time of Israel and the Philistines, ancient Israelites, and the ancient Philistines. But you got some mixed breed over there in the land of Philistine right now. Those are not even the right people over there in the amongst the heathens. Goes to show you that the Lord prophecy is on point. Then, like I mentioned, these governments, these societies, they're not set up by so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. We don't control the market in the world. The international funding system, IMF, the political game, et cetera, et cetera. These other nations, they in their power seat. That's why you have certain scriptures mentioning Yahweh Shai coming in the latter times, being King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And the wicked, you can pinpoint it in the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 4. It talks about the border of wickedness, which is Esau. The Lord said he hated Esau, and everything that the Lord hates is evil. You can drop that and get that. What book you said?
Psalm 83.
All right, come.
It's Psalms chapter 83, verse 2. It says, For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden one.
Yeah, that's all the nations, even from the time of Judges. Matter of fact, going into the time of Jericho, when Joshua started to invade the Canaanite nations, or the tribes of the Canaanites, that was part of the Hamites, the heathens, one of the cursed sons out of the loins of Noah, after the flood, after the first death. Then you got Esau. He was a help amongst these other nations too, especially after he married the those Hamite women, which our forefather Isaac told him not to go and marry. He was supposed to marry the other nations. That was going back when Abraham was on the scene. He told one of his servants not to get him, not to get Isaac another maid from any other nation. But get that in what precept you had?
Yeah, Psalms 83. That's
okay. Oh yeah. Keep reading on that.
Oh yeah, this is verse 4. It says, they have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
What they did throughout different periods of time, especially the time that I mentioned, the Grecian Empire, they tried to cut us off, especially when Antiochus Epiphanes IV, he had came into power by way of his brother being under pressure of the Roman Empire at that time. They was going up against the Ptolemy dynasty. Antiochus Epiphanes was part of the Seleucid dynasty. And they've been trying to cut our people off ever since, especially Esau. Ezekiel 35 says, since thou hast had a perpetual hatred, then blood shall pursue thee. And blood is pursuing Esau. How do you think that, and we're going to keep saying the so-called white man, because a lot of people, contrary to popular belief, they don't like to study. A lot of people like to say that they know the Bible, but in particular Christians out there, Esau's not going to be saved. And Esau is the so-called white man. He is the one that's ruling wickedness in this world. That's why the world is like this. This is his military power. His military power is running the whole world. His military power is over there bombing other nations. Esau has us in captivity ever since the colonial days. Brothers in other camps, especially Dallas camp, was bringing that out too. This past camp, they camp when they camp out on Friday. They brought that out about how Esau started gaining that momentum of coming into his blessing during those colonial days. With the red coats, the British Empire, Spanish, France, all of that time period was important for these times, as you can see in your world history books too, whether elementary, whether middle school, or whether high school, or even going into these colleges, it got American history in it. Go to show you that the history that was in the past ain't too far-fetched from what the scriptures break down. The scriptures break down that Esau will have his empire, and then the Lord will come and destroy it. Matter of fact, somebody can get Malachi chapter 1, verse 4.
Nah, I got you. Oh, we was going into that last week too when the brother had the book, social studies book.
Oh yeah. With Spain, yeah. That's what made me think of it when I said. I mentioned the colonial period. Yeah.
You said Malachi 4.
Because Spanish, they was the first one to really invade all the 10 tribes that was over here. So-called Native American Indians, so-called Seminole Indians, so-called Taino and Arawak, Inca Indians, which they're not that in particular. And then too, amongst the tribes, or how we know that they're brethren, is that all the tribes, they didn't have separate detailed tribe names until like later on. All of them, when they came over here, was considered Arawak or Taino Indians. Esau knew that. And that's who they was fighting against, the Spanish, and then you had France, and then you had England before they morphed into the British Empire, Scotland, around the 1700s. It wasn't too long ago. This history is long ago because the American Revolution started in 1776. All those wars with the Gadites, the so-called Native American Indians, the so-called Seminole Indians, especially the Seminole Indians, that war in the 1800s. Besides the other wars since the 1500s with the Spaniards and whatnot. That was a major war that really set up Esau Empire. Because around that time too, the Lord allowed the Atlantic slave trade to happen. That's how America got built up. America got built up by Esau wicked ways.
That's right.
Esau wicked ways funded the Atlantic slave trade. Everybody like to say, yeah, we can all get along. Hand joined in hand. Proverbs, 11, 22.
Yeah.
A lot of you Negroes out here in these churches, you joining hand in hand with Esau. Your kidnapper, your murderer. Your enemy, like the brother just read in Psalms 83. These nations make a tumult against us.
Yeah. Like the Jake that came, it's like not Jake, the Ethan. He came up to camp last week.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
My opinion is God loves everybody, but like we were saying, where was the love at when y'all had us in slavery?
Right, trading us as gifts.
Yeah.
Elon, you had a hand in that too. Ishmael especially, he's supposed to be Isaac's brother. But he going up against his brothers, seeds, Jacob. So all of you nations, you going down, man, because the Lord did have to where you were going to kinfolk, but the Lord did count you as the seed of the promise, like he did Isaac and Jacob, and Jacob's 12 sons, which is the nation of Israel, that's about to be saved in these last days.
That's right.
This book of this reality, or the chapter of this reality is coming to a close. We have it in these books, the book of life. Go ahead.
This is Malachi chapter 4 and verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts.
Somebody hold 2 Peter chapter 3, verse start at verse 9. Or we start at 8.
Yeah, that's the third time that you come out today.
Oh, that's beautiful, bro. Now I was thinking about it too. Somebody earlier said this week. I was thinking about that scripture. I think about it, put it in the chat. But the second death is very, very important to know concerning prophecies. Somebody had that 1 Corinthians 14 right quick. Go ahead and read that right quick. Prophecy is very important because this World War III is happening, right? What you think is going to happen when these nations start shooting at each other with these nuclear missiles? You think we're still going to be able to go to work,
Right.
go to the house, barbecue, travel, vacate, order something online? Nah, we're going to have to try to, run for the hills, which is no such thing because one nuclear missile can really damage the United States as a whole for centuries. Just imagine 200,000, according to Revelation chapter 9. The Lord has it to where it's no escaping His judgment that He has written in these scriptures. There's no escaping. The Lord is about to burn everybody to really ashes. America is going to be the new desert, not over there in the east, like you got amongst the Nile River. You got those different deserts out there. But over here in America, this is going to be a new furnished desert. Revelation chapter 18 goes to that, about the destruction of Babylon the Great, which is America, spiritually America. There's no other nation in the world fits those characteristics of being great, having lived deliciously in the earth. Everybody wants to come to America and enjoy the fruits of the Lord's people who was put here in slavery to build up America.
Yeah.
That $1 trillion debt, those trillions of dollars debt that's on that debt clock that America owes, that belongs to us, our ancestors, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. But even then, money won't change the situation of uprooting wickedness out of the earth. Because the money gonna go straight back to Esau.
Yeah.
The Lord has to destroy this man by way of this World War III that's going on, and also putting them in slavery.
Yeah.
You got that?
Okay. This 1 Corinthians chapter 13.
14.
Sorry.
Verse 1. 14.
Okay. This 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 1. Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy. For he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speaketh not.
On that. Start over verse 1. Because the Lord said, because we give a charity by way of us giving our time to the Lord, going on the highways and byways, sharing ideas that's in righteousness.
Oh, I was saying fellowship.
Yeah, the fellowshipping, thinking upon the Lord, simply thinking upon the Lord. That's giving good charity. But ultimately, the Lord wants us to prophesy, make our bodies a living sacrifice. That's the greatest charity we can ever do, because the Lord is going to preserve us from this lake of fire, which is going to be created by these nuclear missiles that these nations are going to shoot at each other, especially over here to America.
1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 1, it says, follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy.
Yep, rather that ye may prophesy. Because all of those things, it's a conducive type of spirit with charity, us having to constantly do charity until the Lord comes back.
Yeah.
We constantly have to do that. But prophecy, we ain't got that much longer to prophesy. Because if you prophesy, you have to speak to everybody. Because it's a saying. And the Lord gave us an unction to know all things. What?
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 6. It says, then did I consider these things, and they were all made through me alone, and through none and through none other.
Yep, you go to verse 1, it talks about the Lord making everything, the creation. Before he thought about making everything, the Lord said this was on his mind. Jacob, the whole creation. How it was going to start and how it was going to end. Well, not the whole, well, not creation in essence is going to be destroyed, but the creature that was created by the Heavenly Father, he's going to be destroyed. You know, his throne, which is his power, his military might, his image that's being glorified throughout the planet Earth.
Even him himself.
Yeah, even him himself. Yeah, because the Lord is only going to annihilate the tribe of, or the nation of Edom, out of the 18 nations, or table of nations, that's written about in Genesis chapter 10.
Yeah, that's right.
The Lord is about to destroy Esau on the whole, but the Lord still is going to make him pay back. Esau, you're going into slavery.
Right.
You're going to build up the kingdom of heaven. Got it.
It says, by me also they shall be ended, and by none other. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of times?
Yeah, the Lord is going to end it. By him, it's going to be ended. This society is just like, it's just like all other societies. It's no different. All of these empires that ever ruled the earth at one time, they only lasted what? They only lasted roughly 250 years.
Yeah.
2026 is when America is going to celebrate the 250 years of America being an empire, or being a country. From the start of 1776 to 2026. It's 10 generations. Guess what? Our people have been in slavery way longer than 10 generations. But just when America started to be built up, that's when we really caught hell. In that prophecy of 3 days and a half, 350-year prophecy. So those times is coming to a close. We got the mark of the beast on the way, the chip. Jacob's trouble. See what Trump's doing with these troops. And they're coming to the A too, and they get to bear arms.
Yeah.
A lot of these cops, they ain't holding back, man. Neither is these people. Second Ezra 15 goes to that. It used to be sedition among men.
That's right.
It's going to be way worse than Crowd 19. There's a lot of put under the radar articles about what was going on with the people in the world at the time of the pandemic. Yeah. You know, how they hid domestic violence status. Domestic violence was through the roof. The decline of many jobs, many businesses. It's going to get way worse than that. Because now Esau's about to show his true heart, and the way this society is going to be ran is by way of that beast system, the New World Order. That was going to keep America going, not the money and not the thoughts of these people believing in America, voting. All of that's going to be put out the window, and it's happening right now.
Yep.
All of those emergency treaties or these executive orders that Esau has been signing for the longest. Esau, he's literally going to use those executive orders.
Yep.
And it's not nice neither.
The Constitution is out the window.
Yep, the Constitution is out the window. You can't bear arms. They coming after these people arms. Esau, you know, people, regular peons, they going to fight. Jacob is going to fight too, because the Lord says he's going to break that yoke from our family. So we just wait for Esau to make his move. Go ahead and shut down America and put everybody in FEMA concentration camps. And bet these people like guinea pigs with the chip. Go ahead and get it over with, just like China. America swears it's not a communist state, but it is more than a communist state. It's the Roman Empire. But anybody got
I can read that verse 9. Second Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
Yep, Esau is the end of the world. So that's the fulfillment of prophecy. Esau, so-called Caucasian man, that's running the earth right now, whose face is on the world reserve currency, which is the U.S. currency, his dollar bill. He's going down as we speak. Look up his history, man. Why he had these people that's on the 12 tribes of Israel signed in. The manner that he kept us in. The state that we are living in after the fact of him putting us in that hardcore conditions.
Stockholm Syndrome.
Yep, Stockholm Syndrome. A lot of our people are hand in hand with our enemy, like we brought out before.
That's right.
But soon they're gonna be fiending for the Lord. My people should be willing the day of our power.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be too late for the 2/3. Because like the Lord said, your spirit is gonna thirst and it's gonna hunger. But the Lord's people is gonna eat spiritually and physically.
Right.
So with that, we want to give all praise and honor to Lord too.
Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakam Kadash.
On to the hope of the next one.
Shabbat shalom.